Hello, so I have this pen here with me. It is a Hongdian A1 with a 14K gold nib, as can be seen on the cap. Gold nib 14K Hongdian. So it's quite an interesting choice for them to actually advertise the gold nib so plainly on the cap. In fact, it seems a bit gimmicky to me. But nonetheless, the design does look very interesting. So it has what I think would be an anodized aluminum finish with a floral pattern on this white color choice. The black color choice does not have the floral pattern but has instead vertical lines on the barrel. So the workmanship is pretty interesting. They did indeed paint a white color, silvery white color line on the clip. But in my opinion, it's not exactly very well done. You can still see a bit of rough edges. But that's alright for me. And at the top, there's some traditional Chinese designs. I think this is a Pi or one of the Chinese mythological creatures. So it's a very well, I would say intricately decorated pen on the outside. And so going in, we see that the grip section also has the same anodized finish. And then if we could get the close-up look at the nib, it's a 14K gold Hongdian nib. It writes Himalaya on the side, extra fine on the other side. And so what's interesting about the nib is that if you can see here, the tipping is a bit interesting. Because while most pens, perhaps I would draw a diagrammatic illustration, while most pens have a tipping material, something like this Hongdian has a tip that looks a bit like this. So it is a bit interesting in the sense that it doesn't have the usual tip, rounded tip at the end. But instead, the material so-called builds up towards this more thicker end of the nib. So while it is advertised as an extra fine nib, and it can be extra fine if I tilt the angle a bit more vertical, it actually writes very much like a medium nib or maybe a fine nib if it is written in the normal position. And so before I go into a more full writing sample, I would like to show you the interior of the pen. So you see the anodized coating goes really all the way through, even on the converter. So it's a very beautiful converter with the etching of Hongdian on this metal section of the converter. So it's a standard international converter. And you can see the plating or the anodization becomes a little rough in the interior of the cap. But that's not normally a place I'll look at, so I'm fine with it. So let's go into a writing sample. This is the Hongdian A1 with a number 5 14K gold nib. So there is a lot of flex to this nib actually, because it is of its shape most likely, and as well as its gold material. So this is ink with Iroshizuku Asagao. So this pen is a pretty wet pen. This can be seen when I use a wetter ink like the Iroshizuku series. And when I flex it, maybe I flex it too much. But normally when I flex it just gently, the ink flow doesn't cut off much. And so that's quite a pleasant characteristic of this pen. So reverse writing is also possible, but it's rather dry and scratchy. And so overall, this pen, I got it for, I would say, around USD $50 after discount. I bought it on AliExpress. And this pen is also available in a black design, which I did not choose since I found that for the black design, the gold nib has a black coating in the center, which I was afraid would not turn out that well. So I chose the white one instead, and I'm quite pleased with my decision. Quite pleased with the pen I have here. Overall, a very good pen. It never had a dry start even after I left it unused for a while. And so there you have it. This is the Hongdian A1 with a 14K gold nib. So that will be the end of this review video. I hope you enjoyed it. And you can really give this pen out a try. It is a very affordable gold nib option. Definitely a beginner level gold nib pen. But of course, some may be a bit wary because it is a Chinese manufacturer, and Chinese manufacturers tend to be slightly more, I would say maybe a little lenient on their quality control. Hence, you may not get as wonderful of a pen as I get, but that's all part of the lottery of buying a new pen. And so that's all for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video.